Oh, the fluoro.
Better?
Way better. You are live. Quick, Pascale, join in.
Hi, everyone. We thought we'd roll a little bit earlier just to see if the quality is okay, if you can hear us, if you can see us, if it's, streaming well.
Yeah, so...
And it's really awesome to see that all of you are chatting with one another, waiting before we go live. That's really cool.
Yeah, we were just having a look and we can see your comments. Yep. Oh, something's happening. That's right. It's happening. We can see some of your comments just scrolling in there. So thanks all you guys for just chatting with each other while we got our stuff organised, I guess. So you can see, let's just clear up where we are at the moment. We're in a house. So winter came, they kicked us out of all the national parks and so on. So we brought our refit forward a little bit.
Wait.
What? Wait.
It's not 9 o'clock yet, so I don't want to start talking and giving everyone the spiel until...
Oh, okay. When do you want to do it? In 5 minutes? So we've got people from Turkey, Cornwall.
Yep. It's really, we wanted to do this session this evening for us. It's 9 o'clock at night. We've got the fire going.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't really see it.
You can see a great chimney though.
There you go. The fire's going. We wanted to do this session in the evening so that all of you lovely people in Europe could actually catch us, because all the other sessions we've done, it's been like 2 or 3 in the morning in Europe. So we thought we'd do this one so it's the middle of the day for you guys, and it's a Saturday, and we know that everyone is isolating at home in Europe at the moment. So, we thought it would be a really good opportunity to chat with you guys in Europe.
Yeah, look at that. Someone's hunting down Dave Harros. I knew it would come. Yep, so we'll be doing another live chat in about 12 hours as well for people in the other side of the world.
Yeah, in the Americas.
So everyone in Australia and New Zealand sort of gets it both times. And if you're a night owl, you can as well. But we'll see what we cover here. Germany,
so hi,
South Africa,
French Alps, Queensland, South Africa.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
we're getting some US there. Brizzy. 6 a.m. in Missouri.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah, you're out of.
So it's early morning in America. Okay.
Okay, so some people over there are going to get it twice.
You can wake up to free range sailing. Oh.
Can we start?
Okay, so I was just waiting till 9 p.m. to start, just in case anyone had sort of scheduled in to start. Anyway.
Even though I'm part Austrian, Pascale's actually a lot more precise.
Not really. I'm the one that's always late to things. Hi from Mars.
Nice. Okay, very early in that piece, I started talking and Pascale scolded me. She said, "Stop!
It's not 9 o'clock yet. It's still not 9 o'clock." But...
We've got so many people there. So what we've done, winter has come, and we were going to refit and rule in winter. It's just that the everything that's been going on has brought forward our plans because they kicked us out of all the national parks. It's hard to be a free-range sailor when you're not allowed to go on land anywhere.
Exactly.
So we're kicking into refit at the moment. So if
you've been following us on Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen a photo of us, tools in hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we started the demolition or the pulling out of everything. Troy actually took to the boat with a crowbar to get some of the cabinetry out.
I'm very precise with a crowbar. It's more delicate than what it sounds like. I saw someone early in the chat asking a question. They were wondering what else I'd considered except for a Klansman, and the answer is I hadn't. After a cyclone, I saw a Klansman washed up on the rocks. Yeah. And while all the other boats were sort of shattered, they just got a crane and picked it up, and the guy jumped on and took off with it. And I went, that is the boat for me. And as soon as I found a Klansman, I bought it, and it was Marul. I didn't even know that had done the Trans-Tasman and all of the history, and I didn't know that 7 years later we'd be free-range sailing in it, which is quite incredible.
Didn't you also have your eye on the Dunkos a little bit?
I had my eye, before I'd heard of Klansman, I did like the Duncanson 35s.
That's another Australian boat, the Duncansons. Yeah.
I'm pretty patriotic when it comes to boats. Are we fixing the boom? We're sourcing a new boom.
Yes.
Well, it's a new old boom.
It's a new old boom. It's a second-hand boom, which is pretty free-range style, isn't it? Upcycling. So he's become a good friend of ours, had a spare boom. He replaced his boom and it's going to fit Marul. So we're pretty lucky.
Raphael said, good on you for no sponsors. No, good on you guys.
Yes.
We've been offered a few things and they just didn't fit in with our headspace. But people have contributed and that's what made it possible. So no, good on us. Good on you guys.
On you guys, yeah.
So that's
those people that have pitched in and kept us going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, we have sort of spruiked a few businesses, but usually they're just because they're Australian.
Yeah, it's because they're
cool.
If we really like a product, we'd probably promote it, but we're probably not paid sponsored for it. So
yeah, we've actually unpaid promotion for a few things.
Yeah.
Late to the party, sailing free spirit. No, you're not. We only just kicked off.
We literally just kicked off. We wanted to make sure that we had good streaming quality and good audio before we hit off right on 9. Anyone that's just joined us, we just let everyone know that we're in Tassie. We're in a house because it's winter and we've pulled everything out of Marul. So we're in the process of refitting Marul. So in a few months' time, you'll get to see the transformation.
We should actually take a few photos of our enormous pile of possessions. I think they take up about 2 square meters on the shed downstairs, because people are always like, where do you store all this gear? Stuff. And then we pulled it out and it's like about the same size as a domestic refrigerator. You'd be surprised.
It's a bit bigger than that. Yeah. Slight exaggeration.
People have... Any suggestion for a 17 boy who'd like to start an all sailing life like you? I was once a 17-year-old boy and I knew that one day I would like to go sailing on a sailboat. And what I did was join the commercial fishing industry to get the experience I needed. And I actually sort of wandered around doing lots and lots of crazy stuff before I even got the boat, because it was lots of fun. And maybe free range sailing might be a bit different to some of the other things out there, because we were really into boats and diving and stuff like that before anything else. We're not, well, Pascale.
No, I wasn't.
You're a law-abiding citizen, but yeah.
I wasn't sailing before I met Troy. So I was definitely snorkeling and fishing, but not sailing.
You might not want to go down the fishing route, but you can definitely go down to your local yacht club as a keen 17-year-old. Yeah. And old yachties will have so many good jobs and you will learn so much and you'll get some good time. And then you've just got to find out a way to get the money. But we're trying to show you that you can...
Don't need much money.
You don't need much money?
Definitely not now, because...
Get yourself a 30-footer that's a bit rough. Be the right kind of person and you'll meet a Pascale and your life will change. Roy Clare, wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
And also Dave Harros.
And Scott.
You don't have to say hello to us through the internet, do you?
Oh, it's Dave here.
A boat would be a great place to be right now. If we were on our boat right now, we'd be covered in paint dust.
It would be horrible. And Tassie's getting really cold now. It's sort of like 10. It's not, okay, look, it's not cold for you guys in Europe and in America, but it's kind of cold at the moment. It's about 10 degrees. It's been raining all day. So, yeah, it's nice to have a fireplace and it's nice to have a hot shower each night after doing work on the boat.
It's particularly nice.
Yeah.
How'd the lawyer and Sea Dog meet? I think we've told that about 100 times.
Yeah. The very first live chat. You can watch that after this if you want.
No, I went to see my sister's wedding and I met Pascale there, just with my charms.
Someone asked earlier about when the cookbook's coming out. I did let everyone know on Facebook and Instagram that it's coming, but we've been busy with other things. So I've actually written, well, it's kind of like a modified chapter of the book. I've put it out for free and I've put a link in the description of the video so you can actually read. It's really long. It's like 40 pages. It turned into like quite a long piece. It's all about how we provision on board Marul, because it's the most common question I get asked particularly when we're meeting with fans and patrons. They're often asking about how we provision for long voyages for like 3, 4, 5 months. Remote. We don't go to any shops for like 3 to 4 months. If you watched our videos, you'd know that. So yeah, I put together a guide all about that. And yeah, I thought I'd share it with you all, particularly at the moment, because it was sort of a bit interesting there for a while. We weren't really sure how much we was going to be locked down and what the supply chain was going to be like. So yeah, I thought I'd put it out just in the times. So.
Oh yeah, and I think some people might have reassessed their priorities in life, and I think they might be interested in having a nice store of food, or even shooting around.
Okay, gotta hide people. Huh?
Why?
I don't know how to block them.
Just
hide.
Yeah, just get rid of them.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back up and have a look at questions now.
Okay. Quickly, we're just there's the whole, we can just see a stream of text going through. We're sort of missing some of you as we ramble on.
Yeah. Okay, so that was before we started. Sailing Winifred.
I saw someone saying hi from Nigeria as well. I don't think we've had anyone mention.
Yeah, right.
We haven't had any highs from Nigeria yet. So there you go. Oh, all over Europe. It's really, really it's really a great thing about free range sailing that we're getting to share our lives with you guys all over the world. It's really been a wonderful sort of experience. Against all flags, we saw your post the other day. Good luck with your coming voyage.
Okay.
We do read all of your comments, by the way.
So the green sweater was on. Hi, Elizabeth. But it's really, really warm in here with the fire, which is behind us.
We're
it's
not
an
used
amazing
to
fireplace.
having such luxury.
All right.
Scroll. Hi to everyone from all over the place.
Hello, everybody.
Greenish from the Gold Coast. Someone said, when you're going to get back to the central coast of New South Wales? We're not sure. Everything sort of got turned on its head. We had to skip quite a bit of the west coast of Tassie because it's basically one big national park and they shut it. So we were in Port Davey and we decided to come back, and then sort of we went, well, look, we might stay around where we can reach our parents if we need to and things like that. So we've brought forward our refit now. So we're going to sort of nestle in and make videos about ripping a boat apart and putting it back together for
and we're doing it. Someone asked where we're doing it. We're doing it in a marina near Hobart. So it just all fell into place. We could get this little place that we're staying in, and we've had friends that have lent us a car, which is incredible.
It's really incredible.
Yeah, and this house we've got storage underneath to keep our stuff, so it's just worked out really, really well. I don't know if we'll go to Gosford again. Hi, Josh. Just depends whether we go South Australia, Victoria after Tassie, or whether we go New South Wales. I don't know yet.
Yeah, we still don't know. We still don't know what we're going to do. So.
People asking about New Zealand, but at the moment we can't actually go to New Zealand because Marul's not registered to go international. So it's not really something that we've taken a lot of time to consider because it's a bit of work to get registration. It costs money. So, and we're not really, I don't know about doing a big passage on Marul. She's not super comfy. Like, she's little.
When Marul was first purchased, she was specifically bought for rough sailing, exploring the northern creeks of Australia. All of our early episodes, she sort of filled her design brief. I never actually was going to cross an ocean with her. I know we can. The boat is not the weak link. It's sort of us. There's no good sea berths in it. We have to sacrifice some of our berthing just to carry a lot of our stuff. So you'd probably be a lot more pleasant for a couple to sail in just something just a bit bigger, which we don't have. We've only got a 30-footer.
Lord Howe Island, we thought about it, but...
It's quite restricted. There's some reefs to the north of Lord Howe that I would have liked to have gone to have a look at.
Yep.
So at the moment, things have just changed. I guess we're not the only ones. We're certainly not going to complain about it because, things have worked out well for us and our family. So we're really happy and we hope the same for you guys. So really our plans have been shaken up a little bit and we're just sort of reassessing what's going on.
Steve, the Jotun Sea Guardian's doing really well.
I like it.
Yeah, really, really well. We don't really have any growth on the boat. The only spots we have growth on the boat is where we've touched bottom, like on the keel. So we've obviously scraped it off. Anyway, what about work? Well, thankfully, thanks to you guys, we've been able to just scrape together a living, and the expenses for the boat and the channel has been paid for itself because of our lovely patrons and sponsors on PayPal, people that donate money on PayPal. Sorry, not really sponsors, that's the wrong word. It's just viewers.
Viewer contribution.
Yeah. So It's been really great.
We're not. I don't think we're going to be rich by any means, but it's certainly enough to keep us going, and we're very, very satisfied with it. So
top hat 25 would be a nice start for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, it's a good point.
We met a guy on a top hat 30 or 28 when we were in WA with his cat.
Yes, there is plenty of rain here in Tassie. Don't worry about that. And look, we should get some bacon from Snug. There you go.
Oh, okay. We make our own bacon.
We do make our own bacon. How does resin go off in 10 degrees? Pretty well. Just get the catalyst right.
Where do we want to be in summer? Well, we sort of talked about that before. We're not really sure yet. So I guess we might still be. We didn't really get enough time. Well, we feel like we didn't get enough time to check out Northern Tas.
The Furno group.
Yeah, we wanted to spend more time in the Furno group. You would have just watched those videos. We only really were there for like 10 days. So you saw 2 videos there, and then we had to leave because it was it's subject to pretty severe winds. So we had to leave. We didn't want to hide somewhere for a week and wait for the winds to go away. It was like 30 or 40 knot winds all week.
We thought we had quite a small window to see Western Tasmania, just like we wanted to do it around about March.
Oh, yeah, so that's why we went down the East Coast
And we moved a lot quicker than – we're very slow travellers. I think we're setting the record for the slowest trip around Australia, actually.
All right.
Have you progressed any on your canning experience? We'd really like a pressure cooker, and the BTUs that put out by a Metho stove, they're not that high. I think you'd want the best BTUs that you can get actually are from kerosene.
Yeah.
So that would be good. And when we were looking at it, we just had to put it on the back burner. So we'll see how that goes. Most of our preservation is curing with salt and sugar, and also pickling at the moment, which is quite successful in our small boat. And it doesn't need lots of big energy inputs and stuff like that. So,
how's the lockdown affected us? So we haven't really been affected. Well, we wanted to spend more time exploring the national parks around this part of southeast Tasmania, but we're actually not allowed to go ashore and walk the trails or anything like that. So it just seemed like the right idea for us to start this refit, which is why we started the refit a couple of months earlier. We were always the plan was always to spend winter in Tas in refit Marul because she looks rough and she's in need of work big time. You guys would have noticed that in the videos, like the paint's falling off. There's lockers and things that we've wanted to do. Well, you've wanted to do since you bought the boat. So we're getting that stuff done because we actually just couldn't do it because of you can't live in a space that small with all your things and fix anything. So, I mean, you can do small jobs day to day, but you can't do big refits. You can't do. No, you can't
There's nowhere you can move anything else to like.
So, yeah, we're really lucky that we're able to move around and do this refit on Marul and stay in this house. So the lockdown hasn't affected us majorly here in Tasmania.
No, I've found a couple of friends that I used to climb and work with and stuff like that, and I'm waiting for the lockdown to end so maybe we can catch up with them.
Spend time with friends, yeah.
Yeah, maybe have a little get-together and stuff like that.
Have we decided what we're going to do with the wind generator? Well, actually, as you would know, the videos are 3 months behind because the latest video that just came out was filmed in January. So we weren't, we've already got a new wind generator. We picked it up in Hobart.
Look at it. Wolfgang says, honestly, your boat does need some major TLC.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways you can have a boat. You can prep it and have it up on the hard for ages, or you can go sailing in it. And we went sailing in it. So you can't really go through remote Australia and give it major TLC. So we're pretty aware of exactly what it needs, but it's
hi Fee and Adrian. There's our patrons, Fee and Adrian.
Nice. Glad you made it.
Refit budget as cheap as possible without buying cheap stuff. Yeah. Buying good quality stuff.
Yeah. We don't really have a budget. We haven't laid it out. It's not going to be, we'll do what we want to do. I'm not going to like reinstall the engine or something like that, like any big ticket items. All I've done is ripped out all the wiring, so I'll replace that. And we're going to give a new coat of paint inside. We'll see about giving a new coat of paint outside, a brand new boom. and just a few other bits and pieces. I might completely rebuild the Dodger as well if I'm feeling particularly excited. So,
Paul and Cheryl.
Oh, look,
g'day.
The gang's here now.
Yeah.
What are we drinking tonight? We're drinking a dark lager, and I think Pascale's on an XPA.
I'm drinking XPA, but I might switch to. Tassie's got really great dry ciders, so I might switch to a cider after this. I get a bit full on beer. So.
The last live chat, I think I got through half a bottle of scotch, and then we called it quits.
Yeah. Hello, Minnesota. It must be early morning for you over there.
Yeah, it sure is.
Might as well purchase a new boat. Well, we.
That's. Nah.
Water maker. We have a water maker.
We've got a water maker there. We've even got a video about repairing that water maker. So.
Hi from Singapore. Oh, it's Charlie Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Jeff. G'day, Jeff.
Kahlua milk? No.
Oh.
Not anymore.
Who drinks Kahlua milk? Isn't that? Oh no, is that Bailey's or Kahlua? I don't know.
Thanks very much for the offer of a GPS, but we're all good.
What's our favourite location that we have sailed to so far?
We were pretty keen on. Do we want to disclose that?
That's a pretty good segue to next week's video. If you're a patron, you might have already seen it. It came out today for patrons. It's definitely one of our top 5, easily top. Maybe I reckon it'd be top 3 for me location, and that's pretty exciting. That's going to come out for you next week. We had really cool diving, and it was just like this awesome little gunk hole anchorage. Yeah, it was really cool. You'll just have to wait and see to check it out. But also we really enjoyed all of the Kimberley spots, and in particular we both really liked the Mitchell River. And
the Furneaux group of islands too.
More
recently. I think the Furneaux group is underrated.
Yeah.
So there's probably Taswegians out there at the moment going, shut up.
Yeah. But I think we've had really amazing comments from you all lately, and I think you all really enjoyed the Furneaux group too. So yeah. Abalone is just the best. We haven't really been eating abalone until we got down here, so
Rick likes our refit already.
Ta-da! Spacious, giant boat.
Oh, Real Light Adventures. You're from the Highlands of Scotland. Thank you very much for your encouraging comment the other day.
Yeah, that was really lovely. I think that was today.
Improve.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on when you read it.
But that video came out today. Anyway. Did we decide which was better, abalone or squid? I like abalone more, but I think you might like squid more. I don't know. I'm
going to stick with my call, and I don't want to be pressed on it. It was sort of just I don't know, it's just sort of a bit of a crazy little cooking segment.
It was pretty fun.
It was fun to do anyway. When the two of you, I don't know, there's a lot of people that, like in the recent circumstances, that probably got locked up with their loved one for the first time in ages. But me and Pascale and I, we spend quite a bit of time together, so we have to sort of devise ways of, keeping it rolling, keeping it fun.
Ryan's here.
Ryan.
SV bullshit. So
that shit.
Besides throwing some paint about and addressing the wee boom issue, are there any other upgrades planned from this refit?
Yeah, so the upgrade is, you would have seen, I was talking about wiring. The wiring must be addressed. So there's going to be some new wiring. I want to have the cupboard doors and things like that. I'd like them a little bit nicer looking, but I want to try and just optimize our storage a little bit more.
Yeah, that if you've seen us sitting in the boat in the saloon and there's all that kind of weird cabinetry, like varnished ply, but odd and janky, and we've ripped all that out. So we've got ideas for new, more efficient and definitely more attractive storage solutions. But yeah, we're just working through options.
A lot of boats have the benefit of things like a ceiling liner and laminated surfaces. We can't hide stuff in the ceiling. We have to be a bit more creative when we're putting lights in places. So that's something we want to give some thought to. We've got a lot of paint on surfaces. If I can get a hold of a woodworking shop, I'd like to make a bit of nice timber stuff. We've got a bit of laminate on the sink, but we try and keep laminates to just a dull raw. We don't particularly like them. It's a personal. Some of them look really great, but it's not our thing. So what else? I'm rebuilding. Well, I'm not rebuilding. A friend of ours, Peter, is actually building some new bushes for the wind generator. He's got a lathe, so not the wind generator, the wind steering. So it's going to be a lot more accurate. Maybe the Dodger. We'll see. I'm really am making it up as I go along.
So the interior is the first thing, and then once we've got the interior done, we'd like to do stuff on the deck. And we will have to haul out as well. The bottom paint's good, but at some point we're going to have to haul out and do it anyway. So.
Thank you, Wolfgang, for further comments that you work for a shipbuilding company. I don't know if you will trial some of your boats.
Gillian, yes.
How do you want to get them back?
We've sailed a bit around Bruni, so we've seen a few places.
How good was it, that southern bay down in Bruni? Like the waves are sort of pumping in and.
Oh, Cloudy Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Cloudy Bay. That was cool.
3 metre flathead. Yeah, we got one of those up in Queensland. It's called a tiger shark.
Do we have to wait 3 months for the refit videos? Yes, because I can't. It takes me 30 hours to do one video. So.
Show Mix. He doesn't need to be. Oh. YouTube automatically hides some of these comments because we've got a few. Go through them. Yeah, you've got a few clowns.
We've got a few trolls.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, so I can't go any faster because I'm helping Troy with the refit a little bit. I'm going to get more involved soon. But yeah, we had to catch up on the videos because we didn't have really much power now that the daylight hours are really short in Tassie. So, and it's cloudy, and a lot of the time the wind isn't consistent enough to really charge our batteries. So we actually couldn't do a lot of work when we were on the boat. So now that we're renting this place, we've got unlimited power, so I can just smash out videos, which was important because, yeah, we couldn't do it on the boat.
I wouldn't call what you do to those videos smashing them out. I reckon you finesse them really well.
Work really hard on them then. It's actually been really good because often we have a power limit. So Troy's like, okay, you got to wrap it up now. I'm like, but I'm just trying to get it a little bit nicer.
Yeah, and then I start the engine because we have to get that video out.
Yeah.
Mick says, I have 5 massive barramundi swimming around. What am I doing wrong? Mate, I've shown you the Aboriginal spear.
Yeah, that's right. And also, have you done it at the right tide? Because they just don't bite if it's the wrong tide.
Yeah, and if it's the wrong temperature, they sort of just lurk around.
Because we were fishing in summer and it was too hot and they weren't. Yeah. Anyway. 3 metre flathead. Caught any. Okay.
People still keeping an eye out for wedding rings on Pascale or engagement rings on Pascale's hand.
When was the last time we saw our families? We saw them when we went home this time last year. They're okay.
That's right. It was too.
They're doing okay. So we would have liked to have gone back at some point during this winter part of stay in Tassie, but we'll probably leave it until everything's until we can. But yeah, they're okay. We're keeping in touch with them on the phone. So
yeah. Michael, hi to you and Catherine as well. It's always a pleasure. Oh, yeah, someone talking about barramundi.
Oh, Barra.
I thought you were talking about us.
Yeah, I know.
They're always affected.
Fort Lauderdale. It must be, early morning there. So good morning.
Spent a bit of quality time around Fort Lauderdale. The 7 Coronas for $7.
Will we go north and west? We don't know yet. That is another refit item that we would have to consider if we're going to do the bite, because we need a smaller. Well, you're thinking of. Well, we want to put another reef in the main, and we want to have a smaller sail.
Yep.
For just being able to sail, particularly to weather in stronger winds. So that's something that we'll have to consider if we're going to do the bite.
That might be another upgrade there as well, Ryan. I was thinking quite seriously about putting a inner stay in, like a Solent stay, if you know what that, like a detachable inner stay, and just being able to have a nice hard little storm sail and a third reef in the main, just so we can get that centre of effort right down. We sort of need to be able to leave sails up and have power if we ever need to heave to. Marul heaves 2 under a head sail, but I haven't tried her in seas over 6 metres yet. So she did all right in 6 metre seas. I made good progress in it, but I just lost the dodger.
That was before free range sailing. That was when we built. Oh, you built.
Come on, we built.
I gave you moral support.
So that's why Marul has that hard dodger that you might see. It did have a soft dodger once, but a wave just destroyed it.
Could a foreigner legally live off the sea in Australia the way you do? I don't think so. I mean, you could. You'd have to have a visa though, so you could do it for a year or however long you got your visa for.
Yeah, whatever the immigration laws. But other than that, I don't think the fishing's that hard if you went up into the north.
Yeah.
Make some Aboriginal friends, they'll sort you out.
How did your beer brewing go, Pascale? I haven't brewed beer for quite some time now. I actually gave away the brewing kit to a friend in Gladstone because we just haven't had space or time. You need to be somewhere for a period of time and you need to rest the beer. So, yeah, and I'm not really a fan of – I don't love the kit homebrews because I've gone from being in a brewing co-op where we did all grain mash and stuff, and I don't know, the kit ones, they're all right, but it's just, for me, it feels like drinking for the sake of drinking. So we'd rather just, have a really nice beer when we get into a town or something like that. And we actually prefer, someone asked earlier about whether we like drinking, what alcohol we take on board. And we don't really take much alcohol on board at all because we like to have a dry ship. We don't really have much space and it's just better, isn't it? You always say all the complications come from drinking. 20
years of professional marinising on fishing boats, and I'm a big fan of not drinking at sea, but we do take some booze along with us because sailing's a social thing sometimes. And you don't want to roll onto another boat empty-handed. It just sort of sends the wrong message.
Yeah, we're not totally dry, but we'll probably just take a couple of bottles of wine and maybe a bottle of scotch or something like that when we go sailing. We don't take heaps of beer or...
Someone out there that's ever had us on board will be like, yeah, a bottle of scotch. You didn't go home with it, did you? Disgraceful.
Up in the tropics, it was rum, not scotch, but, sub rum or rum for scotch.
Yeah. Everyone that keeps saying thanks for the videos, thanks for joining in, thanks for being a big part of it. So someone had a question and I was going to answer it and it scrolled beyond.
Do you want me to go back up? Hello, everyone. I'm sorry if we miss your questions. It's quite hard to read them, to scroll and read and chat at the same time.
Someone asked me what I thought about furling sails, and it's hard to give you a good answer because I've seen some really well-executed ones and I've seen some very poorly executed ones, and the latter is a nightmare when the winds get strong and a badly thought-out furling mainsail. It's really heavy, but I've seen ones that furl around the boom and they seem fairly trouble-free and you can still drop them, whereas the ones that furl into the mast, if they have a problem, you don't just get to drop them. So if I was going to go for a furling mainsail, I would have one around the boom. That's just my opinion. I don't have I was part of a crew of quite a luxury 85-footer that we took from Singapore to Cape Town. I was the engineer on board and there was a bit of wrestling with that and we were cursing that thing. But having said that, I've seen some where the sail is cut really well. The designer and the sail maker worked well together and they seem to be quite good. So,
our patron Ryan's asked again about he wants to put a solent stay to, and he was asking how big is our current? I thought it was 130 or is it 120?
No, I think it's 110 to 120%.
Oh, okay.
I think. So, yeah.
That was the other option, wasn't it? Putting a smaller...
Yeah, I'm not expert in it. A sail maker is a person I'd like to talk to more about it because I just have to see where the sheet leads and everything go. Oh, that's another modification. I want to get rid of the track and just have a cascade or just have a little purchase system to actually bring it down. But it's hard to describe because I have to wait for the video.
Oui, Ben, je parle un peu français, mais pas très bien.
Sacre bleu. Did you learn to cook on the boat, Pascale?
No. Best tasting fish. I like saltwater barra.
Actually, that question there, it was yogurt from powdered milk inspired the question. that was actually ongoing on Marul before Pascale even joined.
Yeah,
she was already aware of it. But
but you introduced me to making yogurt from powdered milk.
While I was still a bachelor, I was making yogurt and cheese and things like that. Because before free range sailing, even pre-Pascale, I was getting into remote Australia a lot. Just wasn't filming it. I was just cruising around and living rough.
Does Marul get damp inside?
She does now.
Yes.
Because there's no insulation. It's what makes her so good is that it's just a one-piece sort of fiberglass shell, not cord or anything like that. And that means in the cold temperature, like Marul's inside skin is whatever the outside world is. So with us giving off moist heat, it condenses. We've got rid of just about every leak in her. But when the humidity of the air is 95% and the dew point really drops, we almost get rain inside.
Yeah, there was one night it was really cold when we were over in the national park on the west coast of Tas, and it's really wet there. It had rained all night, and we had to have the boat fully shut up. And I was dreaming about rain. I woke up and there was like water falling on my head from condensation on the roof.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, do you think we'll be back in the Kimberley? I don't know. We've been twice, and it's a big commitment going up there. So there's other things to see. We love it up there, but and it would be cool to go back up there now that we have mainly the filming equipment now to really capture it.
Yeah, all the things that we've learned is how to operate the computer for editing and film and all the rest of it. So, that was Ben asking, good luck if you do go to Tassie, Ben.
Oh.
Who started the filming? I bought Pascale a D70 Canon camera for a birthday before we left. And I sort of had an idea of combining bushcraft and sailing before I'd met Pascale, and I didn't do it because you sort of need a partner to make it work. So it was always sort of there. There's a lot of information on YouTube that's just really crappy, and we just wanted to do something about it. And now it's turned into this. So we get to contribute to some of that crappy information sometimes. Have you guys caught any decent whiting? No, not really. We've seen plenty. Haven't really gone for it.
Spear gun or pole spear? Is the Gidgee spear that I've been using lately, is that a pole spear?
Yeah.
Down here, like a spear gun's better up there, up in the tropics than that.
Just that spear gun. I've had that spear gun since 2002.
And it's a Rife wooden spear gun.
Yeah, when Rife still made guns that didn't bend, when the lamination was still done in the backyard.
Sponsored.
This is not sponsored. No, well, Rife now, we still make quality gear.
Yeah, no, we know people that have new Rife gear, wood gear, and that's warped for them. So I don't know.
End up in court for this.
You can't defame a company. It's okay.
That's all right. See that? Yeah. Legal advisor here. That spear gun, I'd have to say that spear gun, it's just an extension of my arm now. It's been with me for so many thousand underwater hours. Like a lot of the time when I was working underwater, particularly when I was an aquarium fisherman, I would use that spear gun to like sort of shoot goby holes so I could catch the little fish and the shrimp. And the spear just goes where I point, where I look. So
that's cool.
I can't imagine not having that spear gun. The day I lose it or something horrible happens, I don't want to think about it.
The spear, like hand spears are really great though. I mean, when we were in Northern Australia, it was really great having that hand spear. The Aboriginal style one that we made three over the course of a year and a half up there, because they're kind of, you use them until they're not usable anymore, and then you make another one. Yeah,
that's the Aboriginal way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It costs you some bed springs.
Yeah.
Scroll down. What else we got?
How about having a guest for a day or two? Well,
only if they're family.
Yeah, family or very close friends like our friend AB.
It's pretty close in that boat. You'd have to really like us.
Andy Windy, second lap. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think we want to see more other parts of the world after we've done one lap, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Hey, Paul, the refit's doing good. Hello, Aries in Sao Paulo. Pennsylvania, Russell. Did you ever make love to your boat? Yeah.
Just get rid of that guy.
I don't know how. Hang on.
What's in the dots?
Oh, here we go.
Hide user. Just get there. Click that.
No, but that's hide user on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be gone forever. That's just his message. He used to be able to block people easily.
All messages. Look.
Oh, good. Okay.
So if you ever looking on here, every now, of course, it's the internet, but you have to think of what sort of support network of people. It's all have to have gone wrong for someone to be like that.
T-shirts for sale. We haven't run a campaign yet, but we might run one soon. We didn't really want to run one right now, so we'll wait a bit. Yeah, but we'll put them up for sale again soon. We don't have they get made to order on consignment. It's not really consignment, is it?
What happens is we run a campaign periodically, and if a certain amount get ordered, they get sold. So that's how we sort of have to do it. If it was just constantly available, then people could just trickle buy them, I guess, but it would be there'd just be no money in it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Diving. Troy is certified for scuba diving. He was a dive master. I don't have any scuba diving certificates.
Breathing air just feels like work now.
Oh, it jumps.
That whole thing of bashing abalone with a mallet to tenderize it, we've found that just kill them as soon as you catch them. And don't overcook them, and they're as tender as anything. And the other thing there, Ryan, I don't think we're pretty happy with that angle, apart from that it looks a little bit crappy and rusty. We might do something about that, but I'm not going to build refrigeration into Marul. I don't want to lose any space for the compressor unit. Those angles are super reliable. And we've sort of got accustomed to just dealing with 40 litres. We eat fresh.
So do you still use the original U-boat type chain plates on your Klansman?
Oh, it's a good point. We've been putting off making a boat tour despite people pleading. Can you make a boat tour? But we wanted to do it after we've done the refit. Now with the chain plates, those U-bolts, we still have it for the back stays, but for the baby stays and the shrouds, no, they're aftermarket ones. Because if you look at the videos on our rig, the spreaders and the mast and everything, it's way over spec. Because Marul lost her mast in the second Trans-Tasman, 1974. She got rolled in the Sydney cyclone, and I think someone had a little scare. And they put a really strong rig on her. So
I need new anchor chain. Was the stainless worth it? We really rate the stainless chain.
You've got to be comfortable with stainless chain. A lot of people say that it work hardens, and they're confusing work hardening, I think, with elastic deformation and metal fatigue with stainless steel, because it never heats up. It's not work hardening, but you can get corrosion, cracking and stuff like that. So I have to live with the benefits of stainless. I do actually go and have to look at that fairly regularly, just for my own peace of mind, and just check, because you'll see rust around the welds, but you really want to make sure that there's no crevice corrosion coming in there. I really like the stainless. It's really, really strong. We back it up with nylon rode. So there's 30 meters of stainless, and when we back that up with nylon, if you want to know more about our thoughts on it, you can go to our website.
Yep.
And we talk about our anchoring setup there, and I even put little numbers and stuff like that in a table, so it looks more like I know what I'm talking about.
No, he does. Troy really put together a really fantastic article on our website about our anchoring system explained. Yep. And it's kind of, we always say it's kind of like religion and politics, talking about anchoring with other yachties, but
yeah. But I definitely like the stainless, but pay the good money. Don't get something out of a Chinese factory at a bargain price. All right, make sure that it's good stainless, preferably stamped with a DN number. You're going to pay, but no rust, good and strong. It's just great stuff. And we also hold 30 metres of galvanised 8mm. If we're worried about it, we've got chain that's never been used. The galvanising's perfect. It's never had any stretch, ready to go if we're worried about a big blow.
Off-grid Aussie prepper. Pascale, Troy, are you going fishing for food? We're not fishing while we're at Refit, but we actually caught a lot of fish when we were over at Bruni. So we've still got pickled fish in there. We pickled a whole lot of fish. We've still got a few jars of pickled fish in the fridge. And we smoked some oysters and put them in oil. So they're sitting in the fridge too. So we're just adding fish every now and again to our food, but we're also enjoying having we had some pasture-raised chicken recently from a local farm, and it was really delicious.
Yep.
And yeah, we've had a little bit of pork because, we like making bacon and things like that. So yeah, we've sort of had a break from eating fish every day, but we've still got fish that we caught 2 weeks ago, which is still going.
Yeah. I think there was a question there about catching colourful fish to supplement your cruising lifestyle. No. It is so involved, the licenses and things like that.
Well, that was Troy's job.
Yeah, I was an aquarium collector. And to be honest, nowadays, a lot of the aquarium fish only supplement the coral that gets sold. That's where the real money is.
The coral.
If you want to, some people get right into shell collecting. If you're going to look for anything, do some research and find out really valuable shells, because that's a really low biomass sort of take. You can find dead shells.
You don't need to.
People pop up, pay.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, everyone new that's just joining us. I've just seen there's like a bit of an uptick in people and people saying hello.
599 and counting.
Woohoo.
So. Someone asked, are we ever going to get a catamaran? It's not really sort of our thing. You have to pay a lot for a good cat.
Bit of a dad joke from Rick. He smoked oysters. I can never get him to light up.
Rick's on fire again. I think a lot of people like their catamarans, but it depends on what you want to do. And a lot of what we want to do doesn't really suit.
Wardlow, do you have a video on how the Dodger was made? No, there's a time lapse in our intro video on when you go to our homepage on YouTube with some footage of us constructing it, but it's not really of how to. If we refit it, if we redo it, then we will.
The Dodger was made stitch and glue, and I don't want to promise anything, but in the refit, I was thinking of redoing. I'm going to just show a little bit about making templates and things like that, and also probably a little bit of fiberglass work. So some of it might tie in. But we didn't make a video because we didn't have free range sailing. And besides, I was just making that up as I went along. I was just like, I think this will work. And I had a bit of a crack at it. It has worked. So it's pretty good.
Annette's asked if I missed the law and am I keeping up to date with it in case I want to ever get back into it. I'm not really up to date with the latest case law and decisions, but anything that's relevant to what we do, I'm always on top of. But yeah, I think I'm just enjoying doing this, sharing what we do with you guys and writing the cookbook, which I've just mentioned is happening, but getting there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that with everyone. If you missed it earlier, there's my free provision guide. There's a link in the description of the video if you want to grab yourself a copy. It's all about how we provision on board. It's a really interesting read.
Pascale, when we're sailing, what gives you the greatest happiness? Sailing or discovery? What is it about sailing or discovery? What do you like? David's asked that, and it looks like a nice question.
It's peaceful.
Peaceful.
Peaceful. It is peaceful. I don't know. It's just, it's a good feeling, isn't it? Being out in nature, just, I don't know, you can be down or maybe you're not really in the moment, but then you see a dolphin or a whale or something or an albatross just fly straight over the boat. It's pretty cool.
Some people think that we're really, really keen sailors. But what it is, I think, is getting out in nature and into remote parts of Australia is... Are you getting more beer?
Yeah.
Hooray. Getting into remote parts of Australia, a sailboat's the only thing with the range. It's a true off-road vehicle. So what we really like is just getting into the wild places of Australia. And I think we covered that in our intro. And I think it still stands 2 years later.
Same, yeah. What sort of beer do you want?
Yeah, I'll have one of those ones outside the door. Excuse this live chat while I just order a beer. It's so cold I can just put it outside.
Yeah.
So it changes, and it changes as well. Like sometimes you'll get a really big kick out of the nature that you're seeing. Sometimes the sights that you're seeing. Sometimes it's just being together. So sometimes it's a sense of achievement as well. Like when you're bone tired,
when you're like, we made it.
Yeah. There's a
when
skill.
you arrive somewhere that is like, you know that you've got the place all to yourself, and you just get to explore this awesome island or place, and there's no one there. That's the cool thing about sailing. Like you can't get there any other way.
It's true. I was a real off-road enthusiast, and I had this old Toyota BJ42 Land Cruiser. And to get anywhere, you had to be a good four-wheel driving. You finally get there, and you're like, "Whoo, that was hectic." And then some guy in a brand new, like this great new Land Cruiser, which can just go anywhere. You don't really, if you're a really good four-wheel driver, they can take you absolutely anywhere. But most of the, people come up and then start the generator and set up the little shower there and put out the deck chairs. I was like, oh my God, it took me so much effort to get here. Bugger it. I'm going back to sea. So. It always changes. You'll always find something to love, and you'll always find something to loathe as well. Oftentimes the wind's coming from just the wrong spot when you're the most tired. So someone was talking about the definition of off-grid.
Don't know. Do we use binoculars?
Our binoculars are monocular at the moment.
Yeah. We replaced them 2 years ago, and they've just died.
With regards to keeping one hand free, you can hold binoculars with one hand. Hey, Crom. He joined us in the last few months.
How does this lifestyle fulfill your existential angst?
Didn't really suffer too much of it. Do you have existential angst?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. I think if you're just sort of like, if you're sort of aware of what you want and you set goals, really sort of achievable goals.
What does even existential angst really mean?
I don't know, getting upset about existing. I sort of know what you mean, but no, like I think the most important thing is to sort of work out what you really want, set goals that are achievable. It feels like I'm giving a motivational speech now. It's just so cliched now. Just these things are so simple to do. Just like set little steps towards what you want to do, and if you're not doing it, just reassess. Like, is it the thing itself, or is it me, or what do I need to change? Some people, their situation's fine, it's them. Some people, they're fine, their situation sucks, and some people, everything's great. So I don't know. I'm just a guy that likes sailing and fishing. Plastic glue and baking soda. What's your thoughts on that? I don't know about that stuff.
How many sailboats did you look at before buying Rule?
Zero. I'd considered it. So
aluminium hull. You have thoughts on that, but
I don't. My personal feeling about aluminium is that they are floating batteries. They sort of fizz and do all sorts of crazy stuff. I'd worked on aluminium boats, and admittedly they had massive horsepower on them. So we found that they got quite brittle and things like that. If anyone ever drops a lead sinker in your aluminium boat, you can't find it. They get fizzy. Even a 20-cent piece left on the dash, if there's any moisture. I'm not into them. What's that? Hi guys, happy New Year. Well, what boat or style would you recommend for single-handed sailing around the world? I don't know. We never make really strong recommendations. We try and share what we're doing. And the reason being is because we have no idea of your strengths or preferences. Like some people really like steel. They're really great welders. A steel boat of any sort of different sort of shape. If we were going to do it, I'd like a high volume, heavy displacement, full keel cruiser. Okay, with a cutter rig, preferably two-master, like a Ketcher or yawl, just to give me more configurations, something that I can heave to, and also having an inbuilt riding sail for when you're anchoring.
Mm-hmm. And probably just having a few more comforts in terms of
bigger volume
internally, bigger volume. So having an actual
choice
shower,
of sea berths,
having some sea berths, having somewhere to like sleep, like a berth when you're doing a passage, things like that.
You know what I think would make a massive difference, and there's a reason why every house has one: a small washing machine.
Yeah,
you cannot imagine how your life changes just having access to like a 10-litre little washing machine. Just hand washing is totally doable, but it takes a lot of water.
We actually were fine in the tropics, and that's what we said in our very first intro video, the first video we put on free range sailing. We were totally cool with hand washing in the tropics because it's warm, it's hot, there's lots of water because it rains, and you don't really use much clothing. Like you're pretty much wearing bathers all the time. Whereas now we do find that we have to do laundry. So you have to wear clothes all the time. It's cold.
It is cold.
So.
The foot-powered washing machine, yeah, we got one of them.
Oh, the internet's down. Sorry about that, Tyler.
That's a sad story.
I hope that you can join us again. How was anchoring over in Port Davey with only 30 metres of chain? We didn't have an issue with it.
It's not only 30 metres. That 30 metres of chain is backed up with 100 metres of nylon rope.
So we actually, when we put the anchor out, we pretty much put all the chain out most of the time and then, back it up with road. So
our standard anchoring depth is like 5 metres and a lot of the time we'll anchor in like 1 metre and even less. So if there's no other boats around, I'll just go all the chain plus 3 metres
of rope,
for a springer there, Pascale. And if the wind gets up, then we'll chuck out another 3 or 4 metres. So
we don't get any jarring because we have the nylon rope.
Yeah, it's like a big lucky band, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. No, we're not married. We don't know about kids yet. We couldn't possibly have kids on our boat at the moment, so it's not really an option at the moment. So
whenever I miss an episode, I get existential angst.
Are we going to stay around Hobart for the wooden boat show next year? I don't know. That's quite a long time, but never say never.
We're a little bit we do want the restrictions to lift while we're here because we do want to go to the Wooden Boat Festival here in Tassie. If you're not familiar, and why would you be if you're on the other side of the world, they still build wooden boats with traditional means, modern materials as well. But there's some really nice characters, and we'd really love to interview some of them or just chat to them.
Yeah.
Because I think you guys would really benefit from their insights.
Definitely. That was something we really wanted to do, but we've been a bit put on hold for that. So that is something. Someone asked us earlier if we've been affected by the restrictions. So that is something. We can't really meet with people and interview them and do interesting videos in that respect.
If you'd like, a reason I like the full keel is it's just not bolt on. Generally, they've got a small propeller aperture, so when you're hitting floating long lines or something like that at night, they don't wrap around the keel, and you're not at night time jumping off in the middle of the ocean off a yacht. It's fraught with all sorts of possibilities. Long keels just don't suffer from that. The props, they're in a nice small aperture. Normally, the rudder is keel hung, which means it's also not vulnerable to being ripped off in the middle of the ocean. I'm very conservative and traditionalist, and the reason being is it's a really good defense against the law of unintended consequences. All right, a lot of people, you can go forward and be as progressive as you like, but just realize there's a lot of things that are going to happen. You just can't possibly predict them. So if you follow those things that have been working for hundreds of years, you sort of avoid those unintended consequences. And I'm happy for other people to be progressive, but I'll sit back and I'll watch and I'll learn, because whether they succeed or fail, I'll learn something. But I'm just sort of just an old chicken, I like to keep my money in my pocket and the boat sailing still rather than being fixed. That's just my opinion. I'm very much a traditionalist. And so many men, and not a few women, probably had to die for us to get our traditional seafaring knowledge. Yeah. So out of respect for them, I'm a bit of a traditionalist.
That's really something you notice when you visit places, particularly around Tasmania. There's a lot of shipwrecks, a lot of graves. Around Port Davey, we saw lots of graves because, yeah, you just don't have an engine you can flick onto you in inclement weather.
Yeah.
You're stuck, or you've got to get up the mast. I mean, that's what we saw on the graves when we were in Port Davey, like the reasons of death. A lot of them were just up in the rigging and they fell off. They fell in, pulling the sails down probably in like big squalls. So, yeah, that was really, it was pretty confronting when we saw that.
Oh, we support the Anzacs. I think we've made a few videos now where we've attended some Anzac parades.
And when we were in Brisbane, we went to the Anzac parade this time last year, but obviously we couldn't do that this year.
Clemos Pro, welcome to Free Range Sailing. I see that you're a recent joiner. We're going to try and cover all that. We don't normally
the budget
talk about
thing and expenses.
It's hard for us to talk about expenses to an international audience because Australia is incredibly expensive to buy secondhand boats, to buy boating gear,
to go into a marina, to refit,
all sorts of things.
Some things are like good about it because you can actually forage and get your own food in terms of seafood and stuff like that.
Yeah, we spend very, very little. I mean, how much? What do you reckon food costs us every year?
It depends because when we're back on land, we'll get treats. Like cheese and chocolate.
In our first year, I just gave Pascale carte blanche and she got 2.5 grand's worth of like nuts and legumes and stuff like that. And we didn't have to, we're still eating that stuff, man.
Food.
Like, we went into the Kimberleys and we didn't get another thing till Darwin, basically. Like we spent very, very little. So
even in Broome, we barely got anything. Basically, like 6 months, that was like, I'd say like, our food costs were about $100 a week. But obviously supplemented, we don't have the freezer or anything. So it was all the meat was supplemented by fish because in WA, it's ridiculous. Like there's so much fish out there. If you're trolling a lure, if you're trolling a lure in WA, you'll catch a fish. So,
and we also can't talk about cost because we don't know how well people interpret the manufacturer's instructions, how well they can fix a diesel engine. Are they dependent? Like some people really love their luxuries on board and then they have to get tradesmen to fix things because it's very, they might not have the knowledge. So we don't talk about expenses. We'll never make a video that says you can do this on this. How much does it really cost to sail the world? Because we don't know.
No, but I think we should do a video of how much it costs us. It won't tell you, it won't give you and everybody's different. But I was thinking of putting together one.
Yeah. The longer we stay in Tassie near a good bottle shop, it'll probably cost a little bit more. It is the most expensive continent on earth for yachties. And if you own a Yanmar, you're probably laughing at Volvo owners, but you're still going to pay.
At least in Tassie, hasn't been that expensive in terms of marinas and haul outs and things like that. So that's cool.
It's a dark lager, not a stout, but I'm a big fan of stout.
Mick the Barramundi teasing him.
Nice.
I reckon, aren't you still like in southern Queensland, Mick? Isn't it quite fish there? Maybe they're like savvy.
Yeah.
If you go up to like Northern Territory or the Kimberley.
Yeah. What type of fishing rods? I'll tell you whatever area you're wanting to cruise around in, just go down to one of the marinas and find the guys that take charter guests out and just have a look on the back there at what they're using because that stuff will be indestructible, easy to clean and easy to get parts for. So for us, I like Shimano TLD 15s and TLD 25s, but the TLD 15. Shimano gear, pretty hard to go wrong. But in terms of overhead rods for trolling, that's what I go for. And the reason I go for it is because that's what the charter guys use. The parts are easy to get. They're tough as hell. It does need to be fancy. So there's a lot to be said for making friends with anyone that's doing it for a living. Ask their advice in your area is what I mean. I miss my Yanmar 1GM10.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I have a Volvo.
I know, right? So reminiscing. Perkins 4108 rule.
I bet you that, Richard, was that 1GM10, was that a hand cranker? Could you take the compression off and give it a spin?
Andreas from Norway, thank you for becoming a patron. That's awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah, thanks
you.
very much.
We don't have a shell collection, Peter, because we don't really have space. Yeah. I collected some shells and sent them to my mum.
It's another thing to clean as well.
Yeah.
So.
Southern Texas Homestead. Right there.
Temporary lockdown, East Coast, 25-foot Angela sailboat. Nice.
Yeah, I think she's a solo female sailor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we remember that.
Port Where Ferry. Did you fish commercially, Troy? In Australia?
In Australia.
And Vanuatu?
Yeah, so in Exmouth I was a pearl diver, and then I did the crown of thorns starfish, which isn't really fishing, but it's underwater. Aquarium fishing, sea cucumber diving, which I can't really recommend that much. I've had second thoughts about my time there, a bit damaging. Went to Vanuatu doing that as well. A bit of time in oil and gas as well. So I'm not one of these save the world.
Sailing Sunbird had a Volvo Penta MD7A.
Hand cranker.
Hand cranker. What's the worst part of sailing?
What do you reckon, Pasky?
Being stuck in really, really SH1T weather.
Yeah, sometimes you have crappy weather.
Oh, man.
So the worst part of sailing, it depends for everybody. Some people, they'll get out in big seas and are scared by that. Some people are exhilarated by that. So it's a really subjective thing. Sometimes someone might go out and everyone else is having fun time and they are green and throwing up. So the worst thing for us, I think, is if the weather's really bad and we might be in a quartering sea that the steering gear can't handle and you've got to sit out in that cockpit, or even if the weather is bakingly hot. When our auto steering failed and we had to motor, like around the Kimberleys, I had to sit in that cockpit just roasting. So sometimes the weather can really get you because you're living outdoors. You're an outdoor person when you're sailing.
Do you want to go to Antarctica? Well, not on our boat.
In a year, I'll have an engineering degree, but I was unsatisfied with the idea of a traditional job. A year ago, I found your channel. Now I think what sailing's really like to do. Some people don't think that just going sailing is like a trip to Jupiter. All right, you can. What we'd like to encourage people to think about is that you can take time out from your life and just try it on. Like we've only been doing it for a couple of years, and you've joined us for the trip. You can get to the end of that, and if you only buy a modest sailboat, don't throw a lot of money into it. You can explore your backyard, have an amazing time, and still sell it at the end of it and go back to your thing. Because you know what? Some people, family's important. You're going to miss them. Maybe you want to get married, have a career later on. You can just take 2 or 3 years out. Maybe that 2 or 3 years turns into 20. I don't know. But it's not just like here we go. I bought a boat. I'm sailing around the world. You can get a trailer sailor. It's totally doable. It's all up to you. Just make your own adventure.
Worst part about sailing is unforecast wind change. This is Dave in the night for Lee Shore. Yes. Probably, I don't know if you guys remember, but it did happen to us when we were on Fraser Island. I think Dave might be referring to that. It's probably happened to him too. It happens to everyone eventually if you're going to be a liveaboard cruiser.
Yeah.
So,
sailing. We're both a bunch of frauds.
If you reckon, mate.
What a loser. How much experience did you have both sailing when you started this channel?
These things.
Yeah, Pascale didn't have much, but I'm coming up to a quarter century at sea. I'm starting to get a bit crusty. Oh, Mick. G'day, Mick.
Hey, Mick.
Been with us since nearly I'd say day one.
And Ross here.
Just waiting for the border to open and being able to sell my house.
Ross has asked, or our patron Ross has asked, would you have more shade protection on your next yacht? Definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we haven't really needed shade lately because it hasn't been that hot. You can just wear a hat in Tassie and you don't feel so hot.
Once it's cold, it's a lot easier, actually.
Yeah. What do we do when we go back to land? Well, we're actually on land at the moment. We are refitting the boat, and I am enjoying having unlimited power to edit our videos, and we're enjoying hot showers and fire. Can't really see it. Oh, you can see it. Look.
You can just move that. Look,
there we go.
blazing.
Fire. Woo. Oh, wait.
I don't hate Volvo. The newer engines are Kubotas and they're good quality. Huh. Those Kubota blocks are everywhere.
Hey, it's Rafi.
Hey, bud. Hope you're doing well with your family. I love to. Jade McBoy. Please visit India. It's, I don't know.
I don't know if we can really sail there right now. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, B. Ruiz asked us about doing the sailing cost video. How many pearls did you nick when you were Pearl Harbor?
How bad was it sailing near all those fires the other month? It wasn't too bad for us. Like we were like struggling a little bit with the visibility, but we were feeling pretty bad for the people on shore. We had a small interaction with it, you know, like because I had family in the area at the time, so we got a bit of a taste of it. But it's rough. I've gone through a few cyclones and seen you know, people lose possessions and belongings, have their world turned upside down. So sort of, I didn't feel good for the people going through it. If we were pretty good, we were on a sailboat, we weren't too worried. But yeah.
Someone thinks that they hope our boat sinks while we're sailing.
Oh, that's rather hardcore.
Yeah.
He's hardcore.
Yeah. What a loser. Oh yeah, thanks Sailing Sunbird. I'm going to show that.
Yeah.
How often do we see wildlife? Dolphins, whales, sharks, any scary experiences? The dolphins have been really cool in Tassie because they were a bit, I don't know. No, and New South Wales, they were cool. Queensland dolphins were snobby, but New South Wales and Tassie, they've been like sprinting up to the boat, jumping in the air, and like, at night time it's really cool because they're all bioluminescent and lit up. It's been really awesome.
Our current gear camera favourites, that Panasonic GH5. Some people have been asking, you know, like they're noticing that the colours are better. We've had some compliments on the quality anyway, and I think that Panasonic GH5, when we take B-roll, and that's some of the shots that you see that are like close-ups of, say, a winch or shots not necessarily with either of us in it, but they help to tell the story. We shoot it with that camera, and we've got some nice lenses, and I really like using it. It's a great camera to use, the GH5, for video. But the little Sony action cams that we take diving with us, and you can just put it around and just do those like creative little shots. They're great. And the Osmo. You know what?
We're the latest
Everything
camera
that we bought, we really researched and we like all of it. They've just got different uses.
Yeah. Yeah, even I don't know, even like the Olympus that we had at the start, it was good for different reasons. Like it was faulty and stuff, but it was so tough and you could just grab it and do whatever you want. And the audio was good with it. They just didn't bring that camera out anymore because I think it was so faulty, but it was such a great camera, like for what it was. Yeah. But lately we've been, I don't know. Did you mention the Osmo Pocket? Lately we've been using the Osmo Pocket, which is a really great camera. They're actually like quite affordable if you are interested in cinematography or just photography or whatever. I think they're like $500, $400.
Yep.
They're fantastic. So
if someone was starting,
that's Australian, so it'd be less in US, but yeah.
If someone was starting out just for vlogging, I think you could do a lot worse than just getting the little Sony action cams.
Yeah.
And an Osmo Pocket.
Yeah.
But we've also found, and you guys can say yay or nay, with making these videos, our personal opinion is that we want to, I think you're quite forgiving on imagery. Like the better we can do it, obviously, the more you'll enjoy it in the editing. But we've really worked on the sound because we sometimes watch YouTube videos as well, and sometimes the sound is just so
annoying.
So we've really worked this last year trying to get the sound a lot better.
Even watching our old videos, it's really annoying. I'm like, oh, I can't believe we put that up.
So I think people are more forgiving of video quality, but they'd really like you to work on your sound. So anyone that's wanting to make videos, just give a bit of thought to your sound, like having the Zoom H5 is an audio recorder.
That's a new thing that we've invested in lately.
I wish we'd got that sooner.
Yeah. It's like a dedicated audio device.
Yeah.
And because we've used really good editing software, we use DaVinci Resolve. You can actually record your audio on a separate device wherever you want it to be, out of the wind, whatever, and then you can sound match it. We haven't used it as much as we probably should, but it's quite hard to be like vlogging, like grabbing a camera and filming things while we're sailing and doing other activities, like because we're not scripting anything or really planning anything unless it's a dedicated video on a particular topic. We don't always just grab it and have the sound there, but when we do think of using it, it's really great. And Troy's been using it a lot lately to get really great nature sounds, so wind noises, sailing noises. So we've started to build our own like sound effects library, and I feel like the videos they're just a little bit more what was the word that you used today? Polished, yeah, because we've got that audio that kind of ties in, and I've been really enjoying sound mixing. So
we devote a lot of thought to just trying to make just small incremental improvements. Like we really want to make nice videos for you guys. It feels like a creative endeavor to us. We never really approached it from a money making point of view, and I don't think we ever really are going to focus that much on it. But sometimes like we make a good video and we're just like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Sometimes we make a great video and we put a thumbnail we think is going to get some views. Like there's one out there that's our best day sailing or whatever. And we got this drone shot of a humpback whale with her calf and dolphins.
Troy thought it was going to do well. I was like, nah, no one's going to go for the whale shot.
18,000 views, and it's an amazing video. He's like, oh, should have just put a bikini on the cover.
It's a very fickle world on YouTube.
It is. But having said that, if you are going down that path, don't use the sex sells thing because you'll get horrible comments.
Really horrible
you won't get
comments.
A nice audience. So stick with just being just a decent person.
Oh, people are asking about the cookbook. I already mentioned it, and I've actually written a few Facebook and Instagram posts about it. And if you go to the description of this video, you actually get a sample of what to expect in the cookbook. I've actually prepared a provisioning guide for free. So if you go there into the description of the video, you can do it now while we're chatting with you. You can go and sign up and grab that copy, a free download link to a copy of that provisioning ebook. It's really great. I think it's really great. I'm just going to say that because I spent a lot of time writing it, and I think it's got really useful information. So.
Should have said a naked whale.
Yeah, that's right.
New latitude clickbait. Yeah, not so much. We stuck on one latitude line. We didn't put clothes on. So, but didn't it crack off, eh? Dude, 12 million views. And you know what? Every single video after that, we saw that we could get 12 million views with that. Do you think we did it? No, we didn't do it. Because we respect you guys.
Thanks, Scott. He's promoting the provisioning chapter.
Yeah.
Nude Lad. It is a good video. The audio's bad, and it's definitely not polished like our later videos, but it's real, and lots happens in it. I catch a sailfish naked. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many YouTube channels can you watch someone catch a sailfish naked? I don't think there'd be any. So, yeah, if you haven't, everyone's seen Nude Latitude.
Leaving for a neighbour's 4-year-old birthday party. We can't compete, but we got another one there, Mick, so it's all good.
Yeah, because Mick's in Sweden, so there's no lockdown there. So whatever. I got a birthday party to go to.
Kimberley or Great Barrier Reef, that's I don't know. It's hard.
You love Great Barrier Reef. The diving's so good there.
I like the Great Barrier Reef, but it's huge. And when we were coming down, it was a bit sad that when we were leaving Raffy there, the Flying Falafel, you see me in the comments, our boy Raffy, we stayed with him a bit longer than what we should have. Because he's a fun guy, and Pascale had to go off and do some stuff. So when we were coming down south, we were like getting our teeth kicked in, so you can enjoy those videos. A lot of people did, watching people go through that. So there's a lot of places that if we were going the other way, it would have been actually a lot better. We could have spent a bit more time there because the northern Great Barrier Reef, once you get north of Cooktown, amazing, really incredible.
Yeah, some people were criticizing us. They're like, oh, you were better when you were beating into weather or that hard sailing. I was like, are you serious? Like, we're not just going to beat into weather to make interesting videos. Like,
what fishing tip have you learned from the natives? Spear
The spear, we were talking about the hand spear earlier. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
How's the water maker going? I think the water maker's good, but we haven't used it for ages. So.
Yeah, no, we've caught it a bit.
We pickled it and we haven't used it for a bit. We've been catching water and stuff.
Still thinking we're still dreaming of going to Alaska.
Love to go to Alaska.
We just don't know where we're at the moment, and also we have to whether it's financially viable. Don't know if it is.
How much did we pay for the water maker? It was a Catadian Power Survivor, and they're pretty expensive. I think it was 5,000 Australian. We got it in. It's small, compact. It can be hand cranked. Like you can make water by hand in case of failure of batteries, etc. So that was one of the options why we chose it, and we just needed to get one on the boat because WA is very dry. You can't rely on rain there, and you can't rely on getting water when you go ashore, particularly in that before you get up to the Kimberley and Broome, like before you get up to, once you get to the tropics, like Dampier, the wetter tropics, you're okay for water. But, before that, no.
With water makers, you'll often see articles and stuff like that, whether it's cruising helmsman or whatever, and people will often focus on the $1 per litre or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not about that at all, because when you're out remote, and you're running out of water, how much is water worth to you?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're not, when you're looking at a water maker, looking at just purely dollars per litre, it's not really valid. What you're really buying is like extended stay in that area that you've spent that whole boat getting to. Because water can be the limiting factor. So it's no good being on a $200,000 boat to get you to this amazing place and then have to turn around and go to the marina to fill up water.
And people say, oh, well, you can just fill up jerry cans and lug them around, but I can tell you that is not fun. And
the sea wants to strip your deck. Like,
we're pretty reasonably young-ish, and it's still hard work. So
speak for yourself, lady.
It's bloody hard work lugging jerry cans around. It's okay in the Kimberley because you are literally at the waterfall and the dinghy's right there, so you don't really have to go very far. But if you have to carry jerry cans through a town or go up, walk from the jetty, it's hard work. So. Yeah,
look at that. We're on our way to Alaska, and it's affordable if they ever let us out of Korea.
Right.
How is Korea? No one's. We were thinking about sailing to Japan. We met some people that were going there, but I think they're coming back.
To Japan?
Bad timing. So, got our water to make beer. It's true.
Are we going to go to Indonesia? We don't have any plans to go there yet. We still want to see Australia first.
Have you thought of cruising?
Oh, hi, Jeff. Patron Jeff's here.
Message retracted though. I've dreamed of going up to the Louisiades ever since I was a fisher person. So apprehensive about hard weather on the nose going through the Bight. Not really, and you know why? Is because you don't have to keep going into it. Because the weather systems are going through there fairly well, you can sort of sail off, and as the wind comes in, you can sort of get back on track. So we are the only cruising boat in Korea.
Oh, wow.
I've never heard of anyone cruising in Korea. There you go. I haven't really lived.
I don't know how to block these people. There's so many troll people on here.
Yeah.
No, but that doesn't work. They keep coming back. Where's Troy's shirt? The free range sailing shirt? No, you're not wearing one today.
No.
Yeah, we don't always wear free range sailing shirts.
See, there you go. He's gone. Don't worry about it.
Catch you later, mate.
Imagine living a life where no other humans were giving you any sort of attention or validation.
So you just come on random live streams and start trolling them.
Just so people pay attention to you. Far out. Just stick with masturbating, man. How is the sailing community? Awesome. And in Tasmania, even more awesome.
It's really great.
So,
boom repairs hanging in there. We mentioned earlier that we have made a great friend here who's giving us his old boom secondhand.
Yeah.
We're just retrofitting it, so that's pretty exciting. You'll see that soon.
There were some people dubious about the boom repair, but those booms, they're trying to push in, aren't they? They're not trying to flex side to side. So has daddy issues. Yeah. Every day.
Oh, the shirt from the last live stream. You know how you had your shirt?
Oh,
the paisley one.
Yeah.
That you got in the op shop.
That's it. Did you know right from? Yeah, like we, I think the Hobart race sort of came by us, and like we were sailing, and we didn't make it. We were going to stop in the Furno group, so they were out of sight. We never actually saw them.
No, we didn't see the Sydney Hobart race. So that was happening in late December, and we were in the Furno group then. And yeah, we hung out in the Furno group for a few weeks, and then we hung out on the East Coast for a few weeks. So we didn't really meet any of the Sydney Hobart. Oh, we saw some of the Sydney Hobart boats going back to New South Wales. So the New South Wales boats, we saw some of them coming back. But yeah, obviously we didn't see Riley.
Scotty Thor, welcome to the chat, mate.
He's been here.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it. Oh.
I said hi to him earlier.
Bloody hell. Yeah, we may miss the old boom as well.
Sorry if we've missed any of you guys any of our patrons and stuff on here. I think
that boom, we actually made it stronger than it ever was.
Troy doesn't drink enough tea. He does drink a lot of tea. We drink a lot of tea. Are we Paddy? You're Paddy certified?
Oh, British. He probably thinks I drink too much coffee. That's what my mum would think.
Did we consider a trip to Rolly Shoals? We did, but we figured, I don't know, there's Rolly Shoals. It's pretty restrictive. Like you have to register, and I think you even have to pay, and you got to go on moorings. And we just figured, you know what? We knew we were going to be in the Barrier Reef. We actually ended up being there for quite a long time. So we had plenty of great diving there, and I don't think it's going to really be any different to that.
What do you think? Does YouTubing subtract or add to the experience, Pascale?
Oh well, for us, it means that we don't have to go back to work because we've made it our jobs. So, but in terms of the experience,
you've got to find somewhere between 30 plus hours a week to do this. Like it's a job.
It's more than that because.
But it's don't even worry about the money. Like the money it's not. Like, we would make a lot more money.
No, we make more money doing other stuff.
We wouldn't have met the people that we've met. And we get letters from people that are like really heartwarming.
Yeah.
Like people are going through some really rough times out there. And patrons that are watching, we've probably said this before, but you really need to be paying attention. We get letters from people that are going through like incredibly bad times.
Yeah.
And they say that what we're doing is really helping them. So everyone that's contributed to help us make these videos, like we wouldn't have been able to afford to make them past cans or something.
Yeah.
So we get regular thanks. Like people are just like, this is really helping me through open heart surgery.
Yeah, like the loss of a child and things like that. Like it's full on.
It's full on some of the thanks that we get. So.
Or people that have always wanted to sail, but then they found they've got this disability and they can't go sailing, or they're held back because they were looking after parents or whatever. Like it's just, it really is amazing. It's really heartwarming, and it's a really great thing. Yeah.
Don't make Pasky cry with your questions. Yeah. But yes, what we've been doing on YouTube, we never would have had that experience in any other way.
No.
And so it's the intangibles.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other way to put it, really.
And also it is really nice to relive our experiences and our travels by making the videos. It's a nice memento. It's like something to share with you guys, but also to share with our family and friends too, because some of them are really curious and interested about what we do, which is what we mentioned when we made the intro video for our channel.
Yeah. It's
really nice to know that my nieces and nephews are watching us sailing around. They've seen us with whales and diving, and they love fishing, and it's really cool.
When they've got to pick a cool uncle and aunt, we've already put points on the board.
So thanks for that question, Paul. That was really cool.
Yeah. What's an essential to take with you? Pasky.
Good morning, Bob. Richard Gloveman, David W. planning to make a documentary, movie, or writing an in-depth book.
We're making a documentary every week.
Yeah.
Subscribe and you will catch it.
Yep, spinnaker. We have an assy spinnaker. Is it an asymmetrical spinnaker?
Yeah, people every now and then they write in, are you sure you've got an asymmetric spinnaker? It's like, I'm pretty sure I know what the sail is. But anyway.
How do we stay dry? The boat's not that dry. We have...
Our connection is unstable. We're trying to... Is that this guy with the 3 metre flat? Is that what Rafi was telling us about? That guy that trolls people on the...
Yeah, but I don't think that's him. I think that's someone commenting about him.
Thank you for everyone that says that we're your favourite sailing show.
Yeah,
and we were just like hoping to get a few more Aussies to stay home and check out Australia. Don't rush overseas. Invite people from around the world, and if you are inspired, like mission accomplished. We're so stoked. That's really great.
Is the connection good for everyone?
Yeah, a whole bunch of comments. Just
okay, cool.
We're back. Sorry. Everywhere
I just want to check. We're hotspotting my phone.
Everywhere we've gone in this first world nation of Australia, we've just had like internet.
Australia's got terrible internet. Oh my gosh. When we were in Cairns, it was on the what is it? It was right next to the node, so it was the new. What's the new internet? What's it called? The NBN.
Yeah.
We were on the NBN, and so you'd have times where it'd be super fast internet, and then all of a sudden, like we did that live chat in Cairns, and it just kept cutting out, even though the house was right on the center node point for the NBN. But anyway. Now we're on 4G on my phone, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No bloody network.
Oh, sounds out of sync. Yeah. Okay.
It should pick up again.
Yeah, NBN is rubbish.
It is crap.
Anyway, that's not really of any concern to anyone except people in Australia, but I suppose there is 20 million people in Australia. Oh, G. Holmes, who met us at the Kingston Post Office in February.
It's surprising that we'll run into people just on the street.
Yeah, well, it was really funny actually. I feel like, when we were in Townsville was the one place, like we went to Bunnings. Bunnings is like Home Depot in Australia, and we were there in Townsville, which isn't really a sailing town. And I think every time we went, someone found us in the aisle and knew who we were.
Townsville's got a little hardcore
and same with Early Beach. But Early Beach is Whitsunday, so it's very much a sailing town. So people in Coles and the supermarkets knew who we were, which was interesting and kind of funny.
We sailed past Metsyka.
Yeah, we did.
What's the worst food Pascale ever cooked? Probably something just with a bit too much salt in it.
Yeah.
There was something.
No, I put like a thickener into something. I tried to make a pie and we didn't have any flour or corn flour or anything like that you would traditionally use for a thickener. So I used like a celiac style thickener. It was like made from beans. I think it was, I can't remember what it was called. It's like a thickener from beans, but it was weird. It was all like mucilage and stringy. I don't know. The texture, the flavor was great, but the texture was so weird. It was like slime. It was like okra slime, but not okra. I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It was weird. I didn't eat it, but you still ate it. The texture was crazy.
I'm a good boyfriend, that's why. Some people have asked, like, how do we handle being on lockdown and things like that? It hasn't really hit us that hard because we're constantly in like a small space together.
Yeah.
With no other people around. So the only thing is like the two things that have affected us is they've closed the national parks. So we just came back to do this. And for a while there, we were concerned with our families, but they seem to be.
They're okay.
They seem to be doing good. And if nothing else, they're learning to love each other again in close contact. So people from look at that, Portuguese.
Hi.
So after so much sailing editing, are you guys still watching other sailing channels? I don't really watch any sailing channels. Do you?
No, I don't remember the last time I watched a sailing channel for a long time.
I really like watching Charles Dowding, the gardener.
Yeah, if you're into no dig, we've been getting into no dig gardening.
I was a very keen gardener before I went sailing. I still like. I really miss having a garden and a whole bunch of chooks racing around.
Yeah.
So I actually watch gardening videos. If you really must know, that's my vice. So. I used to work at the Airlie Beach Sailing Club. There we go. We probably got drunk near each other.
We don't have AIS. A few people have asked us that tonight. We don't have AIS.
Yep, and we would certainly not tell anyone about it if we
Yeah,
did.
we probably have a different name. We like a little bit of our own space.
What's the hardest job so far? Refitting your boat? Sanding, because I hate it. I hate everything to do with painting. I probably won't really.
Troy's got red eyes from getting bits of, even though you're wearing goggles, getting flecks of paint and crap in his eyes.
I never do any filming about painting. I've got no tips to give because I'm a really bad painter because I hate it. But once we get to the electrical stuff, I really enjoy that. So.
A gardener. Well, Troy actually wasn't a gardener. I was a gardener, but Troy was a gardener in his own spare time, I suppose. It wasn't really a vocation, was it?
Yeah, no, I turned a fair few square meters of grass into.
He turned an old market garden into a food garden, which is pretty cool.
How many jobs have you had?
A lot.
About 40.
Marul's history.
Yeah, Marul's history in the single-handed Trans-Tasman. So in 1970, she was the only Australian entry into it, I think in a field of 5. She came last. And in the second one in 1974, she got rolled and lost her mast, so she couldn't complete it. So, yeah, the only Australian entry in the inaugural Trans-Tasman in 1970. She was launched in 1969. So...
Yes, we're staying down here, Ryan, for the winter. We're doing the refit, and then, yeah, it's going to be cold on Marul, so we can't be on Marul without being with a bit of heating. So, in the winter here, because it's just it's in the night it's negatives. So yeah, and we've been given a heater. So, but yeah, anyway, we're in the house at the moment. But if we go back on the boat, we'd probably have to move somewhere like near Hobart or another place where we have power to keep the boat warm.
Definitely. Give me a shark any day.
A shark over
crocodiles.
Oh, for sure.
So.
Oh, the internet's glitchy again.
It's probably getting pretty late.
Yeah. I recognize Troy with a haircut.
How did Troy catch Pascale? It's the other way around.
Yeah.
You guys don't know.
Yeah, we miss having chickens and growing veggies too. It's hard. We'd love to have bees as well. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're probably the internet's coming in and out. But in about 12 hours, for those of you where it works out in a time zone, we're going to do another one because we want to do 2 live chats just so no one missed out.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah.
And in another 12 hours, we'll be back.
Yeah. So if you've just joined us, a few people said that you've just joined and said thanks for the live stream and all that. Thanks everyone for coming. If you've just joined us, then yeah, we'll be having another one in 12 hours from now. Actually 11 and a half hours from now. And yeah, we can talk to you all then, which will be really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, be good to each other. Take care.
Yeah.
We're going to sign out. I'm going to have another beer and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then a live chat in 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. I'll speak to you then.
And we might speak to you then.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Cheers.